Hello everybody and just here and welcome back to Yofukashi no Uta, Call of the Night episode 10, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think I am. Indeed, I was correct. It is episode 10 of Yofukashi no Uta. In the previous episode, we started kinda sorta maybe seeing a pattern that will keep happening. It's purely just my speculation because we've only seen like a single example of that. But essentially, the example of Kou having an influence on the vampire world, a very positive influence, right? The Gyaru vampire, whose name eludes me, would have just killed her friend because that's what she always did. Or rather, far as we hear from Nazuna, she never actually did that. She just tried to play the emotionless, hard-ass vampire of, oh yeah, if anything goes wrong, I can just kill him. But no, she very much likes her friend, so she wanted to let him live. And thanks to Kou, a proper solution was found. So it seems, or at least so do the creators of the show and of the original material want us to believe, unless there is actually a difference between how it was handled in the original manga and how it was handled in the anime. But the dude still very much wants romance, from what we've seen, and she still very much only wants friendship and companionship. So their relationship is still very much uneven. They don't want the same thing out of their relationship. So it's probably not gonna go well unless she eventually finds herself falling in love with the dude. So that might happen. Who knows? But yeah, at least he's alive. He probably still has those possessive, obsessive tendencies, but maybe turning him into a vampire will alleviate them a little. Who knows? I don't know how vampires work. When you become a vampire, are you automatically like healed of your ailments, physical and mental, or are they like stuck at the stage they were at, right? If you were turned into a vampire with a broken arm, the arm would never grow back, or would it grow back instantly, or how does that work? We don't know that. We don't know the entire power set, the entire moveset of vampires, so we can't really speculate. The dude got what coconuts. I'm gonna keep calling him coconuts because he very much does look like Kokonotsu from Dagashikashi. And I mean, it's the same author, so it would make sense. But yeah, Ko. Even the name is similar, right? Ko, Kokonotsu, both start with Ko. One is just Ko, but you know what I mean. Yeah, the guy got what Ko wanted all the time, so there is just a little bit of jealousy, but also a little bit of hope. Because, hey, if that rando, completely unfit to exist in society, managed to snag a vampire GF, then hey, maybe Ko also has a chance, right? And hopefully he does. What will happen in today's episode? I don't know. We might be going for a Vampire of the Week kind of deal, where Cole meets all those vampires one by one and tries to fix them in one way or another, for a lack of a better term. Or is he gonna get turned by Nazuna? Or are vampire hunters gonna attack? Or werewolves or something? I don't know. I honestly don't know what to expect of Yofukashi no Uta. Because anything can happen, really, and everything is fair game. Yeah, I think that's it about the previous episode and about my predictions for the current one. So I'm gonna give you your subs, because you're gonna need them. And I'm gonna give myself my sound, because I'm gonna need it. Because I don't wanna miss out on any music by Creepy Nuts. And I'm also gonna have to ask you guys for your support. Support me monetarily on Patreon or Throne if you want, or completely for free by sharing my content, subscribing, commenting, liking, and all that jazz. You know what to do, because every single YouTuber out there tells you to do the exact same thing. Okay, with that said, we can start watching Yofukashi no Uta Call of the Night episode 10 in 3, 2, 1, go. Vampire of the week. What did I just say? What did I just say? Vampire of the week. Let me guess. Kou ex machina or Nazuna ex machina. I wanna see Nazuna in a maid dress. Okay, right. She wants to be the only vampire there. Yeah. Weirdo ex machina. Yeah. She is. But you don't need to know that. Today it's Romaji lyrics time, it seems. Man, I haven't been able to feel the call of the night recently. Found a new job, so hey, that's cool because it pays well and it's not much work. But I need to wake up early, and that sucks because I don't like waking up early. I like spending the night anywhere, outside, inside, whatever. But I like to be active at night. What can I say? And waking up at 6. Not my thing. Certainly not. So, share my content, support me on Patreon so that I can maybe live off my YouTube channel and not have to worry about societal norms. That'd be cool, not gonna lie. But probably won't happen anytime soon, so... At least the job will let me, like, buy a better camera and stuff like that, so I'm gonna be able to invest in the channel a little bit more. Okay, everybody shut up. Nazuna in a maid dress. Thank you. Thank you. He probably wouldn't look that bad in a maid outfit, honestly. Okay, that still stings. Yes, She gonna do the whole Moe Moe Kyun thing? Probably. It's a maid cafe. A nighttime maid cafe. Not gonna lie, I kind of fucking love a place where you can hang out at night, buy yourself a coffee or something to eat, and that's genius idea, genuinely. Okay, her roleplay is slipping a little. Something tells me that if she actually allowed her true personality to shine through, she'd be even more popular. People are very much into the whole thing of like what you might call it, uh, not a hooligan, but but yeah, that kind of personality is what I mean. Okay. The cutesy one. Yeah, of course. Here comes the Moe Moe Kyun, of course. Moe Moe Kyun. Has to happen. It's shit. No, it's actually good. Would you look at that? Of course. Of course. Flirting with the staff. Someone's into Shota. It's your home. That's the roleplay. What's Nazuna, though? Okay, everybody is perfectly in a role. No one's breaking the roleplay for even a second. It is like an anime. And Nazuna is just standing there wondering what the fuck that dude is talking about. Use local names, yeah. Midori-chan, Natko Hakabe. Sure, she doesn't. Because of her vampiric pheromones or whatever. Jelly? Maybe not. Okay, envious. I mean, yeah, that's the persona she uses every day to lure in some food. Well, he doesn't give a fuck. He probably doesn't give a fuck. Someone's taking creep shots. I love their banter. Really, like, that's a thing I noticed. No matter what characters there are in the scene, the banter is always spot on. Hmm? Aris has a stalker. And the hair. Okay, we're getting a little bit of a murder mystery situation here. And of course he goes along with it, because why the fuck not? He's bumbling around at night anyway, might as well solve a criminal case. And take a good look at the photos. Oh. Sama? Where did the Sama come from? Yeah, and how would that be done in the first place? Through the window? It looks frosted though. Of course. Should have gone out to the veranda, honestly, to see if maybe someone's gonna be sneaking around there. Same customer again, of course. Something sus? Yeah, there were other doors that lead to the balcony. So the culprit either has access to a key or can climb up there. And if not, then the culprit is probably a vampire or some other supernatural being that can just fly or jump up here. Yeah. Probably a vampire then. Yeah, but she has no need to do that. And she was just as surprised as everybody else was. Why do I have the feeling that this scene was just a little bit more spicy in the manga? Because right now she's just wearing like 2 layers, probably a bra and some undershirt. Yeah. Okay, yeah. She's not very photogenic. Are they gonna turn it into a photo session? Oh? What's this scene? The synapses are working, the neurons are bursting, galaxy brain enabled? Yeah. I love the lighting here. And of course, he's acting super confident. Of course. Yeah. Kou has also hidden in the locker. Okay. And they are together, stuffed in a single locker. Of course, you gotta have a situation like that in your anime. Let's be honest here. It's a classic. my question exactly. Okay, yeah, makes sense, I guess. Is it Arisa herself who takes those photos? To bump up her popularity or something? Yeah. Okay, that's important bit. Look at the fucking crime scene or you're gonna miss it. Ah, she's going to attack. She's going on the offensive. And yes, it did. Yeah, she's taking the photos herself. Of course she is. Yeah, apparently so. Trying to bump up her popularity, probably. Popularity. Why else? Is she gonna come clean or. Right, those weren't like regular creep shots. There was no smearing, no smudging. Yeah, everything was in focus and whatnot. Yeah. Filters? Filters. Underwear? Yeah, underwear, sure. Right, so they were supposed to look like creep shots, but they didn't go all the way to truly make them creep shots. That's actually like a great deduction. Popularity, calling it now. Yeah, exactly. Precisely. Well, that's very blunt. I mean, she's not entirely incorrect. Okay, so that's the approach we're taking. I mean, yeah, it's not particularly bad, but it is pretty freaking weird. I guess there is something to that. Yeah, humans. Are you implying you're not one of them then? Oh, is that it? Yeah? Whomst? Oh, hello. Okay, so she wasn't lying about that. Or rather, that wasn't the part of her kayfabe, or kayfabe, or however you pronounce it. And they became friends. Would you look at that? I mean, you're basically a modern day teen, essentially, then. What's the generation called? Zoomers? Something like that? Gen Z? Gen Z, I think. Zoomers are even younger. That's a nice shot. Yeah, I think it's like, what? Boomers? Millennials? Gen Z? And then Zoomers? Or are Zoomers part of Gen Z? Or rather, Gen Z and Zoomers are synonyms. It's just Zoomers was created as a parallel to Boomers. Ah, that was a very hmm very low key episode, kinda, sorta. What I mean by that is nothing like particularly exciting happened. There wasn't any particularly heavy action involved. No like super deep psychological themes, right? We've seen examples of those in episodes past. This one was very mellow, I guess. Very slice of life ish. Like, you'd realistically see an episode like that in, I don't fucking know, K-On! Or whatever other Moe Blob slice of life, right? Okay, I thought we're gonna get some after credits, but perhaps not. Yeah, there's nothing after credits. Ugh. Beginning, please. There we go. Cool episode. A little bit of a rest time, kind of sort of deal, it seems. I wonder if it foreshadows things to follow, right? The last moment of respite before we really start with some heavy shit. I wonder. I wonder, I wonder, I wonder. But yeah, right now, before future episodes come, how about we watch this one again, shall we? Yes, we shall. Okay. So it seems indeed to be a what call it? Uh, Vampire of the Week kind of situation. Also, I wonder where this QR code leads. I wonder if we get a better shot at the flyer. I don't think we do get a better shot at it. I'm gonna try to like screen cap it. There we go. Copy image. And I'm gonna paste it somewhere in my server. How about staff room? There we go. Not like I have any staff on the server. I'm the sole member of the staff on my Discord server, which you can join, by the way, here and in the description. But yeah, that's a hidey hole where I place stuff like that, and I'm gonna try to figure out what this QR code is, if my phone can read it at all. But yeah, it turns out she works at a maid cafe, and it's cool to see how each of them kinda has different ways of getting by. Right? Because sure, they might be vampires and they need blood to survive, but they also need money in the end. They need a place to stay, they need clothes, they need, I don't know, cosmetics. Cosmetics, I mean, like, I don't fucking know, soap and shampoo to keep themselves clean, right? they need the basic necessities, and they have to pay for them somehow, for their phone plan, public trust. Okay, maybe they don't need public transportation, they can fucking fly, so why would they need to take a bus? But yeah, they have their needs. They need money, and it's cool to see the different ways they're going about it. Nazuna is the professional cuddler, and she does massages. The Gyaru, I'm assuming she just grabs money from whoever falls in love with her. That's probably how she's been skirting around. She works at a maid cafe. I'm gonna be interested in seeing what do other vampires do. And yeah, someone flaked out. If only there was someone convenient who doesn't hit it off with guys at all, because of course she cannot be upstaged. And of course, who else but Nazuna? Someone convenient who doesn't get along with guys? Nazuna. And we're going for the art style change again. And the head shake is animated on once. That's cool. Those tiny little things that are fairly, like, unimportant, inconsequential, but it's given a little bit more animation. Also, her ass is animated on once. I didn't notice that. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, her hip bump, her hip movement was actually animated on once. They know where to place their budget. Let's just say that. And of course, Nazuna is the only one. Right, I want to take a good look at everybody here, and I want to count them. Right, we had an episode about her. We had an episode about her today. No, her, and she had her episode today. That leaves us 1, 2, 3 more vampires, and we have episodes 11 and 12, 2 more episodes. So it's not gonna be a vampire of the week kind of deal. And we have to have a finale somehow. Something important for the finale has to happen, unless... Let me check if maybe by chance Yofukashi Nota is 13 episodes. I don't think it is. But on the off chance. On the off chance that it is. Because it being 13 episodes would make it so that it can actually be Vampire of the Week. And it is 13 episodes. Yeah, 13 episodes. Okay. So we are most probably going for a Vampire of the Week kind of deal. And I gotta say I love it. Because we're gonna meet the whole cast, right? We spent some time with Akira. We spent an episode with the blonde dude whose name I forgot. And now we're gonna be spending at least an episode, well, precisely an episode, with each of them. Or maybe 2 of them will be thrown into a single episode, right? Like, first half is about one of them, second half is about the other one of them. And then episode 12 is about the other, and episode 13 is the finale with all of them, or something like that. Or they can actually genuinely go fully for a Vampire of the Week, because they have enough episodes to do that. Okay, that's cool. Wanna wear a maid outfit too? Yeah, I mean, he'd probably look at least decent in a maid outfit. And yeah, of course, it still stings that she was a no. Even later in the locker, she still remembered that. Oh, you said I was a no, but now you're feeling something? You're feeling funky when you stuck in here with me? But yeah, Kou is like... He does feel lust, but not the romantic kind of love, right? Eros, no pathos. No, pathos is something else. There's like different kinds of love in philosophy or whatever. Eros is the lustful, the erotic, sexual love, and there is like platonic love, and there's romantic love. Yeah, I love this opening, this introduction. Well, introduction, this greeting. And the cafe is named Vamp, because of course it is named Vamp. Welcome home, master. Okarinasai Gushijin-sama, and his answer, hey there. And excuse me for intruding, because of course. What's the menu? I mean, why am I even checking that? I can't read Japanese. Probably omuraisu, though. Omuraisu and coffee, for sure. Yes. I mean, again, let's be honest. There probably is a demand for a vampire maid with Nazuna's demeanor. I mean, right? There are all sorts of maid and maid adjacent cafes in Japan. There are ones where everybody plays a tsundere, ones where everybody plays a Yankee girl, uh, all sorts of themes, all sorts, and there really should be um, place for someone like Nazuna. And I love her squishy little face, just squished down and zero emotions. She doesn't give a fuck. Yeah, can I see it here? And again, her demeanor, her true personality is really shining through here. The Yankee girl, the archetype, that's the word I've been looking for. And again, there probably is a market for her kind of demeanor if she were to actually be like her true self in this cafe. She probably wouldn't lose many fans. I have a feeling she would gain quite a few more, in fact. A maid, and this little scene of hyping herself up. Also, skin dentation. Thank you. Switching gears. Yeah, that's a whole like henshin sequence essentially for Nazuna. Stomp. Yeah, it's like I don't remember the proper name for it, but it's like a sumo stomp, right? Very much seems that way. A fist pump, again animated on once for that extra smoothness. Master dude! And yeah, she's not particularly well suited to be a maid. But she can, of course, pick a character, or she can just be herself, and that can be her character. And again, she would gain quite a popularity with that. And she doesn't need that because she's naturally cute. Because, of course, she is. And she's also naturally cute. Interesting is that she's not lying about what she's doing. Usually people hired in like maid cafes and other sorts of roleplay cafes have like full on persona created, right? Oh, I love painting and fluffy things, and oh, I love chocolate and raspberries too, right? Those like stereotypical cutie patootie things. Turns out she's just been real about that, and that's probably source of her popularity, at least before the vampire came. But yeah, that's probably the source, because she can't slip in her roleplay if she's not roleplaying, right? Makes sense. And Nazuna is just I don't know. I just love Nazuna's posture and face here. She's like standing here and wondering what the fuck is this guy talking about. He's gushing about her outfit and whatnot, and she's just like, yeah, cool. What the fuck are you talking about? I wanna go home now. I love the faces. Yeah, and not just, or rather, it's precisely those not even super deformed, but kind of low quality and kind of deformed faces that are really a big drive for me to watching this show, because they're just so incredibly expressive. Like Nazuna's face here, it's just a few lines. It's super far away, and I love her expression. And yeah, we're using fake names because of course we are. I didn't notice that much of a difference. Yeah, because that's how she carries herself every day. Because that's how she finds food, essentially. We're very sorry, Master. We look forward to the next time you come home, your vamp mates. And yeah, I did take a look at the flyer, and they are apparently open until 10 in the evening. I honestly expected them to be open like a whole night, but apparently not. I'm gonna post on the source social media account, of course. And yeah, someone sent what's supposed to be creep shots. Covered photos from the cafe are being uploaded online. And yeah, they actually do look very, very good for being creep shots. And at the same time, they aren't like full on creep shots. Right? It's good enough to show a little bit, just a single tiny line of a butt cheek, but not the whole, like, underskirt or whatever you call it, shot, right? Here is the same. It just shows a little bit of her bra, nothing much more. Here it conveniently hides her face. In all of the shots, it conveniently hides her face. And this is such a classic, like a thing position activity for a maid, right? Holding the tray in one hand and mopping the floor with the other. Instead of what would have probably actually happened, her putting the tray away and then coming in with a mop, not with a rag, to pose for a photo, right? So yeah, in retrospect makes sense, and of course he's gonna be zooming in, and I love the banter. I mentioned it once during this episode, but really, no matter what characters are on screen, the dialogue and the chemistry between every single character is just amazing. Like there isn't a pair of characters that wouldn't have good chemistry. Everybody has amazing chemistry, everybody has great banter, and at the same time, that's important. The dialogue actually feels realistic, is what I noticed. There's a trend in some games, I guess, usually, but also in some shows, where it's all about banter, all about witty quips, all about one-liner jokes. See, Mass Effect Andromeda, the new Saints Row. Everybody's trying to be smart and cool and funny, and it comes out as forced. Situations and scenes in Yofukashi no Uta are funny thanks to the banter, and there's a lot of banter, but it doesn't feel forced, it doesn't feel unnatural. Right? Mostly because of many of the characters like Nazuna and like Kou being fairly deadpan and very matter of fact. And like in real life, when you're talking to your friends and you're joking around and you have some banter between you, like one of you sits there, scrolls on their phone, the other maybe watches TV, and you just talk about something, and there isn't any like super heightened emotions, super exaggerated expressions, no one's throwing the phone at the wall, right? Nothing like that happens. It's kind of like the meme where when you write lol or lemao or ruffle, which translate to like rolling on the floor laughing, and in reality you're just like just doom scrolling through Twitter and you're writing lol and your expression doesn't change, right? It's kind of the same thing. In reality, banter can be funny and jokes can be funny, but there are no like super exaggerated expressions. Of course, I'm kind of generalizing there, because there are people who are very much all about exaggerated expressions. There are cultures that are more subdued in their emotions, cultures that are more outgoing with their emotions, sure, but uh, in general, situations that are shown in anime usually don't look like they are in an anime. If you walk on someone changing, you say sorry, you close the door, you walk out. You don't get slapped in the face and Batista bombed for that, right? Just an example. And the Yofukashi Nota very much shows that you can still be funny without being super exaggerated. And I like that. I appreciate it. And yeah, you do have some kind of skill in telling who a girl is just by looking at her lower body. And yeah, he's just matter of fact. Of course not, that's insulting. And he explains his reasoning, why he thinks that it's her. And Nazuna doesn't react by laughing hysterically, clutching her belly and rolling on the floor, wiggling her limbs, because, oh, that's so funny. She said that he's superb, ha ha ha, right? It's just a normal, regular human reaction, and I love that. Also, I love those midpoint cards, or whatever you want to call them. Nazuna in a maid outfit. 10th night, enlarge the peeping tom photos. Someone else is being enlarged, and it's not just the photos. Haha. Yeah, balcony. Of course, the only way. No sketchy customers, the doors are locked. And of course, Nazuna's first instinct, should we break it? Like, twists. And she probably could just twist it open, because she's a vampire and she has super strength. There's no need for lockpicking lawyer. Although it's a random padlock that just locks the access to the balcony, so I'm assuming raking it would be enough to open it. Maybe even tapping it at the side with a rubber mallet. That could probably work as well. Although, it looks like it's bolted together. If you notice, if you pay attention, this plate here, it seems to be just one singular plate bolted to the frame and bolted to the door. There isn't any line that would suggest it's separated. Those two plates are separated. This one isn't, so it's probably one piece. Not the one piece, but it's like one piece. Although it would be funny if Luffy's adventures just kind of ended with finding this thing in a chest. I'm rambling. And ultimately it doesn't matter, like, honest, it doesn't matter. And yeah, it's on nth floor, probably like second or third. And you can't climb it. I thought there might be like a fire exit staircase, or maybe a ladder, or maybe a set of, or maybe it's just on the first floor, so you could realistically climb on some boxes on a trash can and somehow pull yourself up, but apparently not. And my first thought, it had to have been a vampire taking those photos, or some other supernatural being. Is it gonna turn out that it's one of the vampires that we know that's taking them? Is it gonna turn out that it's some other vampire? Because it's fairly unlikely that there's only like half a dozen vampires in the city. There's probably more. Although, what do I know about vampire society? Maybe there isn't. Maybe they are just that rare. Although, with how much everybody is about creating offspring, you'd assume there would be a lot of that offspring, especially if vampires are immortal. It would be an exponential growth, essentially. So you'd think that the entire population of Earth would be vampires by now, but apparently not. But yeah, it would have to be a vampire we know, a vampire we don't know, some other supernatural being, which would be interesting and would be something that I kinda would expect this show to get into eventually. Because sure, vampire shenanigans are fine and good, but that can stay fresh for only so long, I fear. Although maybe the author can prove me wrong, and I would love to be proven wrong. But something tells me that maybe not in this season. Probably season 2 could also be just vampire shenanigans. But season 3, season 4, if they were to happen, of course, we should start introducing like some danger, some suspense, something to get the blood pumping a little bit, right? And another kind of supernatural beings would play very well with that. Could be, I don't know, Jiangxi, although that probably wouldn't be much of a threat. But like werewolves, that's a classic conflict: werewolves versus vampires, and werewolves also occupy the night space. Could be vampire hunters, could be a rival vampire faction or something, right? Any number of things, and I fully expected, for a moment at least, that it could be a different kind of supernatural being. That must mean the culprit is Midori. Yeah, probably not, though. And you're just as viable as a suspect, indeed. Oh, I didn't notice that! I just noticed this detail. She opened the window and she's holding her phone in her right hand. She was preparing to take some selfies. I just noticed that. See, that's why I always go over the episode again in the end, because I can notice some things that I haven't noticed before. That's such an amazing continuity. And it's something you genuinely only notice when you pay attention, when you already know what's up. Because her phone case color is very skin-like, and it blends in really well with her. But now that I've seen the episode, and now that I know that she's been taking photos of herself, now that I know what her phone looks like, I can notice that. Also, cool thing, Kou didn't notice that. Usually, when you have a detail like that shown early, and then the mystery is solved later, the mystery is solved, at least in part, based on that detail. So that they might show a little bit of a flashback to where it was shown, and see, the main character figured it out because of this little detail. He's not pulling the theory out of his ass, it's actually like grounded in reality, kinda deal. I love that this detail was shown, but wasn't referenced. The viewer, myself, didn't notice that. Kou didn't notice that. But it's here. Completely, in the grand scheme of things, kind of useless detail. Because it didn't help the story, it didn't help Kou figure things out. But very rewarding for the viewer if they notice that on the first pass. And a very cool feeling, like feeling of surprise when you notice it on the second pass, second time over. I love it. I love it. Yeah, she's clutching the phone here as well. But it's just literally 3 lines, so you can't really see that all that well. Now I'm gonna have to... No phone here. Yeah. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4 frames that the phone is in full view. Oh, that's such a great detail. Such a great detail that didn't have to be here. And she's clutching it because she doesn't want them to know what she's been up to. Angle's right, but there's no one in your shot. I'm sorry, I have to. I'm sorry, Nazuna. I'm doing you dirty, girl, but I need this selfie. I really do need it. And my Discord server, Yofukashi no Uta channel. Copy paste. There we go. That's such an amazing selfie. Well, not selfie, photo. I think you're looking good in photos depends on whether you're used to taking selfies. Okay, that's another clue. Used to taking selfies. Also, his reaction is just, and her reaction is the exact same. and knowing how to present your face. And now we're entering this whole, like I don't know. Oh, a storm is a brewing. I hear thunder. There's some beautiful clouds outside. But yeah, it's very much like in some detective shows, you have that moment of like mathematical calculations falling from the sky and overlaid on top of their face, and they're like, their eyes are darting in all sides, and they're doing something like that. And there's mathematical like lambdas and calculus and shit that doesn't make no sense. The like gravity equality floating around, and aha, I know what to do. And there's maybe like photos and vignettes of I don't know. CSI sometimes does it when someone CSI maybe not, but some shows do that sometimes, where you have like a scene that happened before, and there's a zoom, and there's a vine boom effect on that. Da-dum, you missed that. Da-dum, another detail. Da-dum, another detail. Right? You know what I mean. And it very much seems to be a riff on that. Yeah, we're entering Kou's brain. The neurons are firing. One scene, another scene, another scene, another scene. It's swirling together into a coherent thought. And Kou standing there with a face of a philosopher, remembering all the shots and figuring things out. I love this scene. And yeah, you're like a genius detective whose IQ bumps up only when peeping Tom photos are involved. And immediate change in mood and in lighting to make Kou all that much more cool, all that much cooler. But he himself being Kou, he can't really be cool. He tries his best. It's almost like Chunibyu levels of getting into the whole detective persona, and I love it. When work's over, gather everyone together. I love the lighting here. If what I've deduced is correct, the culprit will definitely come to the crime scene. The super harsh lighting, super harsh shadows, and of course Nazuna would think it's cool. Because she very much likes those corny, campy things. She would really enjoy like B-class movies. For sure. And of course, Kou is sitting there, super confident. But yeah, it soon drops. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, more like 40 or 50. Actually, calling it definite would be like overstatement. Hiding. And of course, they're hiding in a locker together, because why wouldn't they be? There aren't any other staff or customers in them, correct? Yeah, what did he say? Ah, yeah, well, I mean, we're putting our faces together. Say that when you told me I was a no. Yeah, everybody is a no for Kou. Everybody except Nazuna. Although, even Nazuna is largely a no, because he can't really fall in love with her, despite wanting to. And just a little bit more render on her lips, just a little bit more of a glow, just a little bit more pronounced line work. The boob window. Yeah, right? Like, we're going from this style of rendering her face to this style with super thick, uneven thickness lines. Also, some very interesting shots in this locker. I'm not gonna be looking for that, but the shot where her ass was squeezed to the wall, and the shot was essentially as if the wall of the locker was transparent, and you could see her butt cheeks flattened against it. It was so unnecessary. So extremely unnecessary that I can't help but love it. And yeah, she's taking the photos herself. Stop right there, criminal scum! With how forceful Kou is and how fast he's dashing out, you'd think that he's already a vampire, honestly. Actually, wouldn't that be a plot twist? You can't really feel that you're a vampire. You become one, and you don't, and that doesn't really change how you feel. The dude that did become a vampire didn't really change physically an awful lot. So I'm gonna note it down. That's gonna be like second theory. Only a second theory on Yofukashi no Uta. First one being that Akira is a vampire slash werewolf, but no, not Akira. Mahiru's mysterious girlfriend. Ko is already a vampire. Probably not, but it's fun to speculate sometimes. Oops, I took one off my face. And she actually looks decent in that selfie. And yeah, as far as creep shots are concerned, it doesn't matter. The quality of the shot doesn't really matter. What matters is that the subject is in the photo, right? It can be blurry, it can be out of focus. Creep shots are usually, again, taken very stealthily, very in a very covert way. Sometimes they don't even, like, if they're taking upskirt photos, they can't really look at the screen of their phone unless they're taking them with a selfie cam. So they can't really like adjust focus and whatnot, so they are like blurry and smeared and out of focus and whatnot, and those were perfect. And also they had like full filters applied, so they couldn't have been creep shots. And yeah, most Peeping Tom photos would include some upskirt shots. Of course they would. And yeah, the photos specifically didn't show those parts. Because she wanted attention, but she didn't want to degrade herself, right? She wanted to show essentially, oh, look how cute I am, right? Not a full-blown upskirt shot or nip slip or something like that, right? Great deduction, like genuinely. And we would never have realized without a guy's perspective. And yeah, of course, it's about popularity. You had top popularity before I came, but now you're number 2, so we made up an imaginary Peeping Tom to prove that you're still popular, in order to satisfy your desire for recognition. And yeah, it is a little bit of an illness, right? The desire to be popular, the desire to be recognized. Sure, it's not... I mean, the desire to be recognized, the desire to be popular is, I think, alive in every single one of us. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you, I'm making these videos because I genuinely do enjoy anime, and I do enjoy speculating about it, theorizing, and all that jazz that I'm doing. But also I started YouTubing even before anime, and there's a little bit of an element of like popularity and fame to it. I'm not gonna lie to you and say that it's completely devoid of that. No, there is genuinely some of that, and I very much enjoy whenever I get a new subscriber. I very much like it when people say that they like watching my content, because I'm feeling popular, because I'm feeling appreciated, right? It's normal. And to some degree, it's perfectly normal in every one of us. But in her case, it went just a little bit too far, right? She didn't get the, how should I say it? The natural, organic appreciation, so she fabricated it. She didn't get the organic attention. Attention, I should have said, not appreciation. She couldn't get the attention that she wanted to, so she created artificial attention. And that is an issue. The desire for attention isn't. Having to fabricate it because otherwise you feel unappreciated is. But then again, every one of us is sick to some degree. I'll quit? No. No, you won't. Why would you? Yeah. Everybody tries to satisfy their desire for recognition. Your way is a little bit skewed, but all of the girls here, they probably very much do enjoy the attention that patrons give them. right? They wouldn't be in such a situation. They wouldn't go through all that kaifabe, whatever the pronunciation is again. I'm gonna call it kaifabe. Correct me if that's wrong. Uh, they're engaging in all of that because they want to be the center of attention of all the people who visit, right? Again, and the people who visit, they also want to be fawned over by the maids. They also want to be the center of attention for those maids. That's why they come here. It's natural for a human being, to a smaller or lesser degree, but it's perfectly natural. Yeah, humans are pretty much all sick in their own ways. Absolutely. Everybody's just a little bit mentally ill. It's how it is. We are all very diverse humanity all together, so it makes sense that everybody would have just a little bit of a mental sickness. There's nobody in this world who would be perfectly sane. And that's cool that Nazuna found a new part-time job, because the pay here is amazing. My hobby is going to maid cafes. And she's blushing. She fell for a vampire charms. She's gonna get sucked on her neck soon. Probably, maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. What do I know? Irashaimase, Ojo-sama, or whatever she said here. I take a lot of selfies. I take them over and over until I get the right shot. When it's bad, I start in the morning. Yeah, that seems very much like a terminally online Gen Zer. It's night by the time I realize that I spent the whole... Oh, no, I never thought... Yeah, she spent the whole day taking selfies, essentially. I never thought anyone would say that's okay, but here comes Midori. I sent a photo to her and she liked it. And she has a friend now. She has multiple friends, because Kou is also in her, like, circle of friends. That's uber cute. Okay. And we're taking a selfie together. And what do you know? Everybody's in the shot, including Nazuna, cutely posing with a victory sign. The same as Kou, by the way. And that's it. That's Yofukashi no Uta episode 10. This view. There we go. That was a cool episode. Not, like, particularly much to talk about here. Although, I guess we did enter just a little bit of that psychological territory that this show seems to be very much about, at least in part. The thing with everybody being just a little bit sick in the head. Perfect. But overall, very, very chill episode, all things considered. There wasn't any frantic flying around, there weren't any super strong emotions, there weren't any super strong psychological themes, no combat, no blood, nothing of that sort. I think it might be just a little bit of a downtime episode after what happened in the previous one, because that was just a little bit intense, mostly in the psychological way. Although there was also some genuinely great action. And I have a feeling the next episode might either continue the theme of meeting all of the vampires in a fairly chill way, or it might actually shit might hit the fan just a little bit more. Because this episode was a bit of a downtime, the next one might jump up, and then episode 12 would be downtime, and episode 13 would be maybe the grand finale, or however they want to do that. Honestly, I cannot even begin to guess, because anything can happen, honestly, like, really, genuinely. If in episode 13 it turns out that Akira comes from a family of vampire hunters, it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. If Mahiru turned out to be not a vampire, a werewolf in episode 12, I would be like, I can see that. That's just Yofukashi no Uta. And all of that, both Akira being a vampire huntress and Mahiru being a werewolf, all of that would be very much enveloped in a lot of psychological drama and talking about what really is a vampire hunter, why do we have to hunt vampires, what is the nature of a werewolf, yada 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 yada, right? Parallels between being a werewolf and having a bipolar disorder or whatever, right? That's very much the show that would go there and that would handle it well, honestly. Anything else? I like how we are expanding our cast of secondary characters. They aren't particularly important, but they are established and they are all very much likable and they very much have their own personalities. They aren't one-offs. The office lady from episode with the massage still hangs around, and we've seen her in one episode before, but she's largely inconsequential for the plot. The girl here, who works at a maid cafe, I have a feeling we might see her once more. Sure, I have a feeling that we might meet with some friends at this maid cafe, or maybe Kou will hang around there in episode 12 or episode 11 or whatever, right? I like the fact that we are adding those characters and they don't immediately become one of the main cast. They don't immediately become super important, but they are also not being immediately discarded. They're still around, they still live in the same city, they know each other, they have some common things, common business, let's just say, right? So it makes sense, and I like that. I really did like a little bit of a departure from the usual themes in this episode. Maybe not a departure from themes, but I like that we got a little bit into that mystery thing. Not quite murder mystery, but a little bit of a detective show. I like how we are mixing and matching genres every now and then. It's not just a slice of life with vampires. There's elements of horror, there's elements of action, there's elements of comedy, romance, and all that jazz. Everything is in here, and I love every single minute spent with it. And I'm gonna be waiting with bated breath for the next episode, and I also love the fact that there's 13 episodes to be had, because that means one more episode of Yofukashi no Uta than I thought we are gonna get. And that's great. It's kind of like you order 6 McNuggets and you open the pack and there's 7. There's just some. It warms your heart just a little bit because you thought you're gonna get 6, but oh, there's a 7th one. That's cool. And I think we're gonna end it here. So you guys, you tell me down in the comments below, what did you think of this episode, my reaction, my theories, stuff like that. No spoilers, please, I beg of you. If you want to talk spoilers, Discord, here also in the description, join it, there's the Yofukashi no Uta channel, you can use spoiler tags and spoil to your heart's content in there. Like this video if you liked it, disliked it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases of not only Yofukashi no Uta, but also Madoka Magica, Symphogear, Hataraku Mouse Sama Season 2, Overlord Season 4, Ruby Ice Queendom, and something else, I think, or maybe not. And I also play games sometimes, I also stream, and I'm probably gonna start watching, whatchamacallit, Chainsaw Man when it comes out tomorrow, so you might wanna stick around for that. Support the channel if you want on Patreon or Throne monetarily. On Patreon, link in the description, for $10 a month, you get early access to non-seasonals like Symphogear, like Madoka Magica, and for just $1 you get a role on my Discord, and you also get a place in the credits, so that's also something. And there are also other tiers you might want to explore. On Throne you can pitch in towards direct purchase of a new camera, better lighting, stuff like that. And if you don't want to spend any money, you can still help the channel a lot by sharing my content, spreading the word, linking my videos to your friends and family and completely unknown people on Discord, Reddit, or wherever, spreading the word of my reactions, because that brings some traffic to the channel. And if some of them decide to watch my videos and maybe leave a comment, maybe subscribe, maybe even support me on Patreon, that really does contribute to the growth of the channel. And with that out of the way, we can finally end this episode here. So that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's the credits I mentioned. You can be one of those people if only you so desire.